I never thought that I would be standing here telling you this, but astrology changed my life. Before you write me off as a weirdo, let me explain. Because astrology is probably not what you think it is. I'm not talking about horoscopes in the newspaper or the icebreakers at a party saying, "What's your sign?" I'm a Gemini, by the way, for those of you who are curious, because I know you're out there. But what I'm talking about is astrology as it was originally intended. It's an ancient symbolic language and a healing art. I'm a professional astrologer, and I never knew that that's the turn that my life would take. Growing up, I was told that life means you grow up, you go to school, you go to college, you get a job, you work 9 to 5, you make lots of money, maybe you have a family, you get old, you die, the end. That model of life created a specific point of view that I was operating from. I started to see myself and my world through the lens of man-made schedules, job descriptions, and numbers in my bank account. What I noticed was that my energy for life started to wane. I was getting sick all the time. I got depressed. Life became linear, limited, constricted, and in one word, meaningless. I was asking major questions like, who am I? And what am I doing here? What is my purpose? What are my innate gifts? Have you ever asked yourself those questions? Yeah. It turns out, after giving thousands of readings for clients all over the world, there are a lot of people out there asking those same questions. And astrology has the answers. It can change the way we live. Humanity is suffering from a great disconnect. We're distracted and we're distant from ourselves, from each other, and from the natural world. We're in a perilous loss right now of land, of meaning, and of lineage. But luckily, there's an antidote. The antidote to disconnection is connecting. Connecting to ourselves, connecting to each other, and connecting to something bigger. So what is astrology? It's the study of how celestial bodies, such as the planets, influence life on Earth. And it's nothing new. Astrology has been around for millennia. It is a philosophy that assumes that everything is interrelated, interconnected, and animate. And astrology is the opposite of linear. The heavenly bodies literally move in circuitous, spiraling patterns, and they mirror the way that life works. It's often discredited because it's not a hard science, but I'm here to suggest that the answer to the problems that we face as a society today are not going to come from hard or reductionist sciences. In fact, seeing life through separation and an individualist lens has gotten us into a calamity where we're a humanity living unsustainable lifestyles. What we need is integrated and holistic ways of seeing, and astrology is one of those. The word astrology comes from 2 Greek words, astro and logos. Astro logos means cosmic order or logic of the stars. It suggests that the workings of space are not random, that quite the opposite, what might seem like chaos, is supremely organized. Logos also means story. Stories are incredibly powerful, so much so that they set the foundation for how we live. Our society operates from certain agreed upon narratives. For example, the story that we must earn a living. Astrologos says the sky is always speaking to us, and that if we learn to listen to the story that's written in the stars, we may be able to reclaim our society to something that is more sustainable and aligned with nature. Stories link us to our lineage. They are our history. They tell us where we came from, they give us context for where we are now, and they empower us to choose where it is that we're going next. Astrology contains a wealth of records that comprise a shared human story. So, what our ancestors were doing was living on Earth, experiencing their lives and watching the sky. And they created narratives and mythologies and archetypes out of those experiences. These archetypes hold deep truths that reveal who we really are. I found out when I studied astrology that my purpose in life has to do with teaching, speaking, and communication. Those are skills that often come naturally to Gemini. Here I am, giving a TED Talk. Astrology allowed me to embrace my innate gifts and bring them to fruition. So, what's your sign? What do you know about it? I invite you to learn more about the archetypes in astrology, such as Aries, Taurus, Cancer, Leo, and so on. You might be surprised at what you learn, and please study all of the archetypes because there's a little bit of each one in all of us. Learning about the archetypes may help you to remember things about yourself and your path that help to set you free. Astrology can tell us more than just about our personalities. Its use can also be very tangible and practical. Farmers and sailors use it to grow food and to navigate the seas. Our ancient Egyptian ancestors looked to the sky and they were looking for one star in particular, Sirius, because they knew that when Sirius started to rise, the Nile River was getting ready to flood. With that information, they could make preparations on the ground. A common example of how the planets influence our life on Earth is a full moon. So think about the full moon. Picture the image of a full moon in your mind's eye. Ask a teacher or an employee at a hospital, and they will tell you that the full moon definitely influences human emotion and behavior. ERs tend to be full or more extreme with their cases around the full moon. And it's no surprise. I mean, the full moon, it interrelates with the tides. The moon creates the tides of the ocean. And our human bodies are almost 75% water. So, of course, there's an interaction. But I wonder if we as a society were more tuned in to the lunar cycles, would the emergency rooms still be full when the moon is full? Or would we be able to develop adaptive techniques to know how to respond to the changes in behavior and emotion that happen around the full moon? One way that we've gotten disconnected from the sky is that electric lights literally block our view of the stars. Another way that we've gotten disconnected is that our holidays, which were originally celebrations of the seasons and events with special meaning, have been reduced to dictating what we purchase and consume. The soul of the celebrations and our soul gets lost. When we orient to our life through consumerism, we lose the essence of who we are. David Abram is a cultural ecologist and philosopher who coined the term more than human world. So David Abram, he coined this term more than human world. And he presents this idea that humans can't actually know themselves unless they enter into relationship with that which is not human. That which is not human or human-made. Astrology gives us a direct connection and way to relate with the more than human world. There's some really simple ways that we can start to remember the wisdom in astrology. Greet the sun and moon every day. Notice where they are in the sky. Notice how they make you feel. Notice how you're feeling and start to correlate the experience of where the heavenly bodies are with your experience on Earth. I even recommend that you keep a journal of the insights that you receive when you're connecting with the sky. The ancients believed that if we could really listen to and honor the more than human world, then we would be able to access deep and profound states of wisdom. It's this wisdom that holds the keys to lasting and positive change for our society. So I invite you, open your senses, because cosmic insight is constantly raining down on us at all times, just waiting for us to actualize it. Open yourself to that. Nature knows a lot more than we do. The truth is, we're a young race by comparison to how much nature knows and how long nature has been here. And nature is literally governed by the stars, the sun, the moon. These things create the seasons, which are inherent cycles of growth. We too experience seasons inside of ourselves. Back when I was viewing life through the lens of my linear hustle of societal structure, I got confused about my inner experience. I couldn't always tell how I felt or why. Now that I tune in with astrology, I know when I'm in a cycle of hibernation and I need to go inward, or when I'm in a state of expression and I need to come out and give a talk. We as a society need to be listening to ourselves at this level. It is innate, primal, and instinctive. And when we create from there, we're building upon a natural reality instead of perpetuating broken human systems. The real reason that I'm here, y'all, is because through astrology, I've remembered how to see my life reflected in the magical landscape and skyscape around me. And I want friends. I want other people to experience this magic because life on Earth is truly astounding. Last month, I had the great honor of being able to witness a total solar eclipse. Did any of you have the opportunity to see that? That event changed me at a deep cellular level, and it had a profound impact on everyone I know who had the opportunity to witness it. Prior to the eclipse, my Facebook feed was, as it always is, full of dissenting opinions and people arguing about nothing. After the eclipse, there were several days where every post was one of beauty, awe, and reverence at the wonder of this cosmic marriage of the sun, moon, and earth in perfect divine alignment. Astrology can bring us all together. And that's a world that I want to live in. I want to live in a world where we turn off the lights at night, where we shut down our phones and computers, and we go outside together with each other and look at the sky and tell stories. Living like this can help us reweave and recreate a culture that emulates the cycles of nature, and it may be able to save us. So join me. Start to engage with the sky. Notice the landscape around you. Write down your insights that you receive from nature and the sky. We are all astrologers. It's in our bones. It's our ancestry. It's simply a matter of remembering it. Let's gather together. Let's shine our light and find out where we belong in the grander scheme of all things. And together we can emerge into something new that we don't know currently, but it's a perfect design that's already written in the stars. This is a society changed instantly and easily by being in love and wonder with this experience of life on Earth. Thank you.